That's been quite interesting and dangerous experience. Wasn't a commander. I don't care. It's been reading. You know what? I'm honestly to the point where I'm just going to start skipping because I'm past the point where I stopped paying attention to the story quite vastly at this point. Because there's just so much goddamn fucking talking. There's an arbitrary amount of talking in this game. There is so much fucking talking. There needs to be voice actors because this is so annoying. I've been reading a lot of reports about the crystal things. No shit, arbitrary, stereotypical defense shields that project a complete immunity until you destroy them kind of thing. That's been around for decades in video games at this point. Been reading about the reports. Apparently they are only found in areas with extreme dense concentration of void particles, unlike the place you've been to. So more or less this is just a new world variable that's going to appear throughout the game now. That will most likely be a constant. I wouldn't be surprised. It said the red zones especially have high concentrations of these crystals, and the quarks in the areas are extremely sturdy and aggressive. It is quite an alarming matter, don't you think? No, it's just stereotypical immunity until you break the immunity projector, or whatever is giving the immunity. If these things are found outside of those areas, does that mean that we're facing stronger quarks in the future? This sounds quite scary to me. I've already fought 2 bosses, technically speaking, so yeah. Considering the first mission you fight a boss, kind of dictates no. Like it's not already happened. Whatever. Next mission. Okay, so the Valkyries have just notified us of a mission for any NPC to help out. Do you remember the void crystals last time? Well, after our mission out there, there's no our, there's no we, it's only me. I'm the only one out there. There is no multiple people out on the field, it's just solely the player. After our mission out at the Storm Creek, many of them popped up north of the Nyan Path as well. The Valkyrie scouts have been looking around for the readings we've reported, and they found many areas with these readings. After careful observation, they've seen these constructs just like we described, but it's much smaller, and there's not a large quark in sight. What dictates a large quark? Something that's as big as the unit? Or something that is a boss category enemy? Because we've only seen huge, enormous enemies. Because that is not a large quark. That is an enormous quark. Quark. I don't fucking care how you fucking say their goddamn ass of a fucking name. They are not asking various They are asking various PMCs to help destroy these void crystals. Okay. I really don't care for how this game illustrates how everything works out. All these PMCs are apparently their own independent companies, despite the fact that you work for the military. It doesn't make any sense at this point. Because we have all these designated shelters in all these different areas, which would insinuate to me that all these societies and groups of human population are all culminated in these spots. This is all that's left of humanity. And yet it's illustrated as if the WDF, I believe, World Defense Force, which is pretty generic of an acronym in my opinion, is really tacky and crappy how it's illustrated and how it's choreographed in how its dynamics work. What's the point of the WDF in my opinion, honestly? There's literally no point if we're all independent PMC, if all these PMCs are all their own independent contractors, essentially. It doesn't make any sense. But whatever. Did I just skip an entire thing of dialogue while I was doing all that ranting? I can't remember if I went to the next page or not already. I don't care, honestly. However, due to other various PMC's response, it's not an urgent mission, and we are free to help whenever we can. So, that's just the second hunt mission, isn't it? Yeah! Another hunt mission! Yeah! What, is it mandatory to do this or something? I was supposed to exit that screen. As you exit the briefing room with Rianne, you notice Quinn walking down that hallway. I almost said alleyway. alongside someone who's much taller than her, with other strands of her face held up. What? With long strands. What? What? That doesn't make any sense. That's a halfway made sentence where you're just jumping into the middle of another sentence all of a sudden. With long strands and her face held up, you immediately knew who it was. I'm sorry? Where the hell are these strands all of a sudden? It doesn't make any sense how this is illustrated. There's no mistaking it. It's no mistaking this one. She's a real good friend who funded this whole operation. Honestly, I'm really getting tired of seeing these stupid acronyms of the PMC and the WDF. Just give them a universal name that's less obnoxious to pronounce or state, because it's just so... It's basically like they're just trying to insert it wherever they can, and it's obnoxious. Like, there's way better phrasing you can use. It's not just a stark contrast, brain-dead robot that only has about 300 words in its vocabulary. I mean, for God's sakes. You're commanding the one and only Eleanor? Why are there 3 L's? Did somebody just fat finger the key too many times, or what? And the vivid, fastened sense she has... Oh, great. I can't wait to see her. I don't even remember what she looks like. I spammed it so fast. I didn't even pay attention anymore. She turned her face from Quinn towards you two, smirked like she always used to while crossing her arms. Oh, her. Another character with an absurd amount of arbitrary anime hair. And also, honestly, this game gives me the stereotypical impression I see in a lot of animes now, where it's basically just a harem, and it's fucking stupid. Near you're back from your trips. How long has it been since you were here? Did you slip past my eyes and sneaked in to surprise me when I was working? And also, another thing I'd like to mention, that's just me when it comes to the harem theory, because of how this is seems to be stimulated, where I'm seeing more female characters in more major prominent roles than males, which I have nothing against that. So what if women have positions of power? Who cares? I'm not a sexist. I could care less for that kind of crap. If you're the most qualified for the position, I have nothing against you being in that position, regardless of your gender, nationality, or whoever or whatever your background is. Who cares? A lot of people are so discriminating nowadays, they perceive discrimination with racism to where they completely conjoin the two as if they're one and the same, which is so comical. It really is. But I have yet to see an actual distinctive, prominent male character, that you actually interact with on a regular basis. Because, the two engineers, technically you interact with on a regular basis, technically speaking, you just don't see them, conversationally wise. Because, the only other 2 male characters I've seen in the game thus far is the one that runs the one, Void Warp, or whatever, Mole Warp, I think, is the name. And the guy who periodically gives us, directions on an objective. Beyond that, I've seen no other male characters, and, sure, those 2, I can't really say for the middleman guy who gives us intel on the mission, but the only real prominent male character we've seen in power so far has been the guy running Mole Warp, but I don't really count him since we only had 1 interaction with the guy. So that doesn't really count as a character in a position of prominent power. Whatever, I'm done. Rianne, in our dear commander, too bad you're here with Rianne. Now I won't have my private time with the girls. This is too sad. I'm sorry. Oh, that's directed at the player. Never mind. Why the hell do you have a sucker? Is that a sucker or a lollipop? I think that's a sucker. Yeah, because that's another thing I don't understand. I have nothing against her taste in attire, because that's her own choice. Sure, I might not like it, but who cares? Anyways, I don't really get why they give characters suckers now, because I think it's just to make them look more smart, more of a smartass, which kind of like how people associate an apple with somebody being an asshole for some reason. I never understood that stigmatism. You look at your good friend, and with her attitude, you to always get into a fight. You don't even know why she has this attitude only with you and no one else. Probably because she likes making fun of you or getting a rise out of you. She doesn't mean any harm, though, so by now you knew it's not to argue. Yeah. Also, another thing I'd like to question, since all these characters look way too fucking young, most of these characters look way too goddamn young, because that's another thing I never understood, especially with anime nowadays. Why the hell do they have so many goddamn young and underage characters, it would seem? I mean, it doesn't matter if they make them look like, oh, they look like this, but they're in their 30s. No, that's not how someone would look in their 30s. I'm sorry. No one in their 30s would look like a porcelain doll that hasn't even left their goddamn teens. I'm sorry. I've never liked that with anime, especially nowadays, how they do this so frequently, and it's so annoying. I mean, I understand it's a case of where, like, you're running low on manpower and you have to bring in new recruits that shouldn't even be on the battlefield yet because you're that desperate that you need the manpower just to be able to fight back. But I just don't like the stigmatism of this kind of stuff. This is why I like older anime nowadays, rather than the more modern, because not only are half the stories so bad, but they have so many stereotypes in them, and so many just illogical aspects to them, that I just lose interest with them almost immediately now. But, I mean, it's just so sad. Stuff nowadays, just in general, isn't thought out anymore. I know I'm ranting and raving and nobody cares, but I don't care. I feel better. It looks like our quality time ran out, Quinn. I'll need some time to talk with these two. Look to page 14 of these papers. It should continue what we were talking about just now. Oh, and be careful with the men around here. With how cute you are, there surely are wolves hidden in this place. I mean, that could be said for anywhere. Also, another major question that I probably didn't ask. How the hell did you get the money for this? What, are you some spoiled rich brat or something? That's what I want to know. Ellen handed a clear file towards Quinn, who grabbed it before turning towards the hallway, heading to her room with a somewhat flustered face. Okay. Now, how are you both doing, dear friends? I've been reading through a long list of things you sent to Rianne. Tell me the truth, I'm quite blown away with all the things our commander here has managed to do. I thought it would take years before we got recognized. Huh. If you're reading everything, then you should know that we're doing fine here. Where have you been all this time anyway? Just doing my things you wouldn't like to know. Okay, I don't understand how that turn of sentence is supposed to be illustrated. Are they saying, like, they're being a smartass of doing my own thing, wouldn't you like to know? As in, I'm doing my own thing, but you clearly still don't know what I'm doing, and I'm still not going to tell you? Or is she illustrating it in a way? Or is she illustrating it like it's a case of where it's just things that aren't worth knowing, aren't worth the time to know? A woman is bound to have some secrets. Don't you have some as well, Rianne? Oh, great. Never mind. It's one of those smirky, smartass kind of statements. Never mind. Oh, shut it immediately. Now are you going to tell us, or do I need to force it out of you? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could actually take her on. You seem more muscular compared to her, I think, but that might just be the clothing saying that. I don't know, it's hard to tell with your physique. I'm not sure if you're stronger than her or not, whatever. Oh, relax, girl, I'm just teasing you. I was at home taking care of an adopted cat and named him Scar. He's a little and cute little kitten. He's a small and cute little kitten with some markings. Rescued him from an alleyway in Shelter 1. Okay. Then there's also this old guy I just got as well. What? Also, this old guy I just got as well. Called him Coffee since he has such a nice glimmering black coat. Just like coffee beans. I'm thinking of getting some papers done so we can move them into this grim dark headquarters of ours. Because with her, she's actually using the statement correctly when it comes to our. Because, yeah, well, technically it's yours, since technically I would assume that you technically still own the facility. We're just the ones operating it. Because you're the one who's funding it, which I don't know where the hell you pulled that kind of currency out of your ass. Whatever. Will you stop saying that? Oh my god. Now, I was also... Like, why do you keep saying near? Because it's almost... Because, see, like, that doesn't make any sense. Rianne wore a smile that looked as malicious as it can be. She started walking towards Eleanor. Okay. So she's just saying near, like the end of their name. Just say Ellen. I mean, for God's sakes, how hard is that to say? Because, whatever. Who just realized that she's going too far, and Eleanor took a step back. Rianne took 2 forward, still smiling. She was actually... You can actually see that the files in Rianne's hand are starting to get crumpled. Okay. See, now she's acting like a gangster all of a sudden with this statement. Literally saved by the bell. How is that a bell? That turn of phrase is not funny, nor is that clever. Rianne stopped moving, breathed out a sigh, and answered her call through her headset. This is Crimson Lance. Yes, sir. I'll be right there in a minute. Thank you for contacting us, sir. Commander Mulwarp mentioned that they have some work for us. We are to sortie ASAP. What the hell is sortie? Wouldn't it be mobilized? Because, see, what's with all these dramatic poses and shit? I really hate this. Like, it's over-glorified posing. And, like, the excessive static image of them having this excessive amount of flowing hair and bobbing up and down. I would be more content with a static image. And I'll get back to you when the mission is finished. Maybe I should run away and disappear before then. I'll ask Quinn to lock down the base before you can do that, and I know I'm one of my word. No, come on, girl, can't you take a joke? I was about to tell you so many things. Go on, finish your job so we can finally talk. Yeah, okay. All you've done is act like a complete and arrogant, prissy little schoolgirl who acts like one of those, I can't think of the right phrasing off the top of my head, but basically she's like those prissy girls that get together and then just belittle and berate others. That's the impression I have of you so far. How are you friends? I'd like to know the dynamic of that. Okay, so I did see the Mulwarp guy again, apparently. I couldn't remember, because by this point, I had already just spam skipped the story, and I was just clicking away, just skipping all the text, and not paying attention to any of the characters that showed up on screen. Because I think it was either 1 or 2 missions, and then I'm finally caught back up to how far I went in the game. Because I'm already vastly past where I was in both, overall, a collective in the game, but story-wise, I'm not back to where I was at yet. Thanks for the quick response there, Rianne. We would like to ask for your assistance once again in our works. Before that... Oh no, I am back to where I'm at in the story. Okay. Before that, do you know of Lake M.A.S.S Dam down south? Is it one of the power generating plant near Shelter 5? Yes, we do know about it, if it's that one. That is the one. To clarify in your words, the dam is an automated power charging plant. Energy cells are manufactured and charged at the dam before distributing to shelters in the southern continent. I'm surprised this isn't more of a major target, or just an area drawing the Quarks' attention to some capacity, you would think. Mulwarp is a company that helps distribute all these power cells to civilians on regular intervals. Usually it's a quick, clean, get in, grab the cells, and get out by our retrieval team. However, we don't have a M.A.S.S around this time. This is where you come in. We'd like you to help secure the area to allow for safe loading. It should take only a few minutes to load and the requested amount of our carriers, then we can leave safely. Andrew, I would like to ask a question regarding this matter. Go ahead. Wouldn't this matter relate to the WDF as well, since we're dealing with the power cells used in shelters? Why did you not ask for their help before coming to us? See, this is what I mean. This doesn't make any fucking sense. Why are we a part of the military group, despite the fact that we... Oh my god! That is a question we'd like an answer as well, Rianne. We have been requesting help that in this matters with the WDF for a while now, but lately all they told us was that they can spare no help during these times. Well, all that illustrates to me is that this is some kind of a hierarchy system now, to where basically, if you aren't of a certain pecking order, they don't care. We personally think that it's because we're not dealing with shelter supplies, but civilian supplies. Wow, that is just deplorable. The WDF, with their hands tied in all the more important thing, does not think too highly of us. What the fuck? Okay, my point's already been proven in what I just stated, basically, with how this is being illustrated right here in this statement alone. That came out too pessimistic, I suppose. Not really. I think that kind of illustrates it pretty well, honestly. Well, the matter at hand is that we are requesting help from you. Would you accept this mission? Your requests are getting weirder and weirder every time we've talked, Miss Andrew. Sorry for the trouble, Rianne. We understand if you would think us as suspicious. Oh, no, I did not mean it like that, Andrew. We would like to accept the mission. Please send us a sortie schedule. See, that's what I don't understand. Why do you use that word? That doesn't make any sense, because when I read sortie, I'm thinking something else entirely different. So we can have our commander prepare in advance and stand by at your headquarters. Thank you very much, Kearns and Lance. We'll have them We'll have them sent, not send, to you right away. Okay, yeah, no, never mind. So I am actually at caught back up. I thought I was a couple more missions further forwards. I guess not. Okay, yay! So I have no idea what to expect. Let's just jump right in, I guess. What am I doing?
Start.
Oh, hello. Yep. How do I get up there? Oh, okay, apparently I could get up here. Well, I was right on humans attacking each other. So I just let that happen. Suddenly, piece of void particles. What? Okay. Of course, teleported. At least the missile stayed launched. gonna get whacked. There's an enemy literally sitting right next to me. Why have they not attacked? Yeah, there we go. I was waiting for that, you little asshats. Now I should have enough clearance time to do this. What is this position? What is happening? I am in a free fall position. What the hell? Okay, let's solve that one. What's the next one I gotta take care of? Whoopsies. Thought that wasn't important. Of course. Right as I hit the lock on and try to fire missiles. That'll waste my frickin' time. It really doesn't make any sense how you get stunned like that, but your shield hasn't even gone down yet.
Mission clear.
Oh, that's it? It's funny how we just let that asshole just steal all those power cells, I would assume. There's so much for supplies and all that and so on and so forth. Because we just literally let them just come in, be an ass, and not even try and shoot them down. We just stared at them dumbfounded like a freaking deer in the headlights. Whatever. Moving on, I don't care, blah blah blah. Oh, I'm getting new parts now, I think. Arriving into headquarters and desynchronizing from your unit, you immediately release yourself from the grasp of the pilot controls. It took you almost a day just to compensate Mowarp in hopes that they don't fine you, however, for failing the mission. I'm sorry, in what justification do they have to fine you for a rogue variable that just showed up? How can you be justifiably fined for something like that? Especially since you saved the dam from overloading, and possibly, who the hell knows what, since those things were exploding, literally imploding. How the hell can they justify fining you for something something of that caliber for occurring, especially since it wasn't on your fault, especially since some rogue variable showed up. And since the game gave me a forced cinematic, I literally couldn't try to stop them. The game wouldn't let me. So, fuck you. Clearing the areas around the dam, waited until a new energy cell could be charged and escorted Mowarp back to their headquarters. That should be enough. Still, all the time it took you to get back to base from the mission area, Rianne did not contact you at all, and this worries you a lot. See, that's what I mean. This doesn't make any sense. How am I... So what? Am I actually consciously somehow being transferred to the unit, so I'm actually the one who's actually piloting the unit, but it's just my conscious instead of a physical body instead now? This doesn't make any sense how this is illustrated at all. Not only the fact, why the hell is her office in the briefing room, but also the briefing room is where the freaking control system is for the unit? That doesn't make any sense at all. Whatever. Well, you didn't need to hurry that much. You're in a panic mode, just like Rianne. True friends indeed. You need two peas in a pod. Oh, babe. There, in front of you is Ellen, standing proud and tall as always, and a complete and utter arrogant narcissist, right on cue. I took care of your girl already, no problem at all. Nada. No. Now thank me. What? I don't even know what the context of the scenario that's going on. Why the hell would I thank you? You brushed her off to her frustration. I mean, it's justified, considering how much of an arrogant LARP she is, and asked what happened back here at base. If there's nothing at all to worry about, it should be fine to just tell you about it while you rushed back here. Oh, nothing. Oh, nothing much. I immediately contacted Andrew and the WDF when the attack happened and had Quinn send an instant recording over That's how you immediately got new orders after cleaning out all the Quarks. After that, we had an in-depth review of the incident with both parties. Rianne was extremely busy answering everything and giving all the details we can. She was about to cry, so I had Quinn and Carl take her away to a nearby restaurant. She's too stressed out with all this thing happening. With all this happening. Not all this thing. What? I'm sorry. Whatever. Then I formulated plans and, well, let's just say Rianne and I did all the difficult stuff already. She should be resting in her room right now. Now, go clean yourself up. I don't want someone reeking of sweat when I'm about to discuss something serious. And let me say this, it's a good thing the incident happened. Now it'll be easier to explain everything. What?
Because that's another thing I don't understand. If your consciousness is transmitted to the unit, you're consciously in another body right now. Your entire consciousness, you are no longer in your own body. You're just a shell, basically, essentially, and you're inside the unit. Because that's something that I don't honestly understand, which really doesn't make any sense to me. But c'est la vie, I guess.
Whatever. I understand people can still get upset and stressed out, but if your consciousness has literally just been ripped from your own body and is now consciously in the unit, I don't see how your body would still be able to react. Granted, I don't know how the system works, so on and so forth, but how this is all illustrated, it's just so counterintuitive, obnoxious, contradicting, and just... whatever. Your face is saying, I need to explain everything. Look, I'm about to continue where we left off before you got into that mission, and coincidentally, it is related to what just happened. Go on, take a long, nice shower, and think about it. Okay, sure. Come meet me in Quinn's room. Why her room? Are you saying her room, like where she's staying, or, whatever. When you're ready, then we can call in Rianne. As soon as she finished her sentence, Ellen turned and walked away out of the room, leaving you alone with the pilot seat. Okay. Oh, I have to go to development. That's where I was going to go anyways. How was the analysis? Did we get any... Oh, there you are, finally. I assume you're ready to listen. Quinn, call it Rianne, please. You walked into a discussion between Ellen and Quinn, but your arrival hushed it. Yeah, it totally doesn't seem like she's not doing something nefarious in the background, potentially. Quinn spun her chair towards her large screen, clicking away at some buttons on her control system before speaking softly into a microphone set nearby. A few minutes of small talks passed by with you already finding an office chair to sit in. The door opened with Rianne in her formal suit, standing straight. Okay. Sorry I'm late, everyone. Commander, welcome back to base.
Now, from what I can tell, also, it's just illustrated how the main player, like, you don't really get a two cents. I mean, it's illustrated in certain capacities that you are, but again, we don't get to see your own statements and all that. Not only that fact, it just seems more like you're just here to be here, basically. Like, you're not even a part of the story. You're just here to watch what happens. It really seems like that with all this excess dialogue and all that shit. Rianne bowed her head a little, walked to a free chair inside the room, and sat down quietly. Now, let me first ask you two, what is it like to face them firsthand? Those unidentified M.A.S.S units, the Cyclops. Okay, Cyclops. It's the name of the owner of those M.A.S.S that attacked us, the Cyclops, a PMC not known to the public. That's not a PMC! That's just a rogue group that attacks other people. That's not a PMC. That's just its own independent company that isn't associated with this arbitrary, illogical crap, how this is all formulated. I was not planning to tell you guys about them until much further when we were more than ready to face them. But, well, they came to us instead. Well, no shit. I mean, I already expected we were going to be fighting other humans with how it was illustrated. Anyways, I already theorized that, and I was correct. Wait a minute, if we already know who they are, why aren't we reporting them to the WDF to launch an investigation and have them arrested for their crimes? Comical! Oh,
How I wish things were that easy. You see, I've done that around since the time we met. Okay, that doesn't really help illustrate things. How many years has it been already? The WDF has already launched lots of investigations against them, but to no avail, nada, nothing at all. Yeah, this just seems like to me that we're just literally your little grunts doing this for you for a greater agenda you have in mind, but you're not telling us. I wouldn't be surprised if you're secretly the main antagonist of the game. I wouldn't be surprised. Wait, you met them before? I've never heard anything. If you recall, the first time we met, it was at an orphanage in this shelter of ours, right? Wait, so where we're at right now used to be, you got repurposed for something else? I was always asked to contact my relatives, and eventually they found one after a few years, right? Right, your family was attacked by Quarks while you were traveling, and you got separated from them. Both your parents were hospitalized, and no one knew you were alive. Their health was the main concern, as one of the influential families in these times. Ah, that explains why she has so much fucking money to throw around. She's a spoiled rich brat. Got it. Exactly, but what I've never mentioned was that I knew we weren't attacked by Quarks straight.
That doesn't make any sense how you would phrase that sentence. That's not correct. God, this is so aggravating. I'm not going to stop complaining about this. I won't.
I don't care. We were in our convoy. Mind you, I was a child. You're still a child, honestly. You don't even look like you're out of your teenage years. For God's sakes. But that incident was not something I can forget, and suddenly we heard some explosions. Next thing we knew, a swarm of Quarks were running our way. Seemed like they were lured. The thing is, before the explosions happened, the cute child who I am, a complete and utter arrogant narcissist who's so self-absorbed they can't shut up, you almost remind me of Handsome Jack from Borderlands, honestly, who was looking out the windows, so obviously that's out, for some exciting views. I was a glimpse of a mass. What? I was a glimpse, really. I saw a glimpse of a unit in the distance. I recalled asking Dad why there was a M.A.S.S unit that far away from our group. He brushed it off with the readings on his radar. That's not a M.A.S.S unit on the position I pointed out. The M.A.S.S protecting our convoy fought bravely and we all escaped, albeit being separated for a few years, but we eventually got back together. Well, after everything, we were unable to recover most of the convoys. Before you asked, no, the Quarks did not destroy them. Somebody really needs to revise all this and fucking fix it. They were actually lost like there was nothing there to begin with. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but my thoughts when I heard that from Dad was that we were attacked and the goods of the convoy stolen. When I got back home, I immediately asked Dad to investigate the unidentified M.A.S.S, and my thoughts said he already did, but nothing came up. Years of stress on this matter bedridden him. And now here we are, with me sponsoring you guys with all the wealth I inherit. Yep, called it. I was right. You're such an arrogant little spritz royal brat. Yep, called it. I still expect her to be using this for something else in the background that she's obviously not illustrating. I already suspect that, and plus she might be the main antagonist. Whatever. Did you not ask the WDF to help with the investigations? Oh, of course I did, but it was never fruitful. My parents even told me to just continue with our lives and stop thinking about it. Kind of hard to do when they keep attacking you and harassing you. It's kind of something you can't just disregard. That was something I can't live with. So I took my savings and, yep. Incoming transmission from the WEF RAM. Would you like me to patch it through or use the speakers here? If it's a mission offer, I'll just decline it. M.A.S.S stories are of more importance, and it put it up through the speakers. Okay. Yep, it's this guy again. That was too slow. There's a sudden attack on our facilities near Shelter 7, and it's not looking good. If you are ready, I request you immediate help on the matter. Mission accepted. Yeah, Okay. Duplicate the feed into the main hall and the briefing room. I need the information while we run back. Commander, please change into your pilot suit immediately. You had to jinx it, Rand. Oh, shut up. Go do your work. Talks can come after saving lives. Yada, yada, fucking yada.